In the boundless world of ancient Greek, there are many mythical creatures. They took part in Greek mythology and involved in many great adventures. Their importance are constituents of Greek mythology. If there weren't any of them, this Greek myth won't exist in the present. These creatures can be classified into three groups: creatures that live on the land, creatures that live in the water, and creatures that live on the sky. However, these mythical creatures still leave some myths to find out. The terrestrial creatures in Greek myth are classified in full form and hybrid. Here are the creatures in full form. We can categorize them by the storyline in the Hamilton's book.
Ocean Dragon, a dragon that is the guardian of Golden Fleece. In the story of Golden Fleece, Medea, who was a witch, helped Jason to get the Golden Fleece by catch it and make it fall asleep and escape with Jason. Chimera, the fire-breathing monster, lived in the mountains around Lycia. It had the head and the body of the lion, legs of the goat, and had a snake as its tail. In the story of Pegasus and Bellerophon, Bellerophon was assigned to kill Chimera, and he completed easily because he mounted on Pegasus and shot arrow to it. Nemean Lion. In Hercules' story, it is the first monster in Hercules' labyrinth. It lives in the cave near Nemea. However, what makes it different from the other lion is that its skin is invulnerable to all types of weapons, but Hercules can defeat it by his pure strength. He threw it up in the high sky and staggering it to death. Erymanthean Boar. This creature was in Hercules' fourth labyrinth, the gigantic wild boar which roamed around Mount Elementus. Hercules captured it by luring it into thick snow and trapped it there. Ladon, a 100-headed dragon that guarded the golden apple of Hesperides. It involved in the 11th Hercules labyrinth. Hercules had to obtain the golden apples of Hesperides, but he didn't know where it is. So he went to Atlas, Hesperides' father, and asked Atlas to get it for him.
Cerberus, a three-headed dog that guards the gate of Erebus. Cerberus involved in many stories, such as the story of Psyche, Orpheus, and Theseus. All of them had to venture to the underworld. The 12th labor of Hercules is to bring Cerberus from the underworld. So he fought it with his only strength and went to ask permission from Hades to bring it upon the earth. Hades allowed him to if he can lift the dog by bare hands. For Psyche, she gave a cake to the dog and it let her pass. Next, Orpheus, he plays music to calm down the dog. The second type of creatures in Greek myth are all hybrid. We can categorize them by the order of popularity. That is, people nowadays know them.
The Gorgons, winged women with snakes on their heads instead of hair. Two are immortal, and the youngest sister is mortal. A single glimpse of their heads would turn any creature, mortal and immortal, except for the gods, into stone. Perseus killed and beheaded the youngest sister. Medusa with its mortals with the help of Athena and Hermes. Minotaur, a monster with a head of bull and a body of man. Its name is Atreus, was the son of the Cretan bull and Pasiphae, the wife of King Minos of Crete. It was imprisoned at the labyrinth, which was built by Daedalus. Every 9 years, 7 maidens and 7 youths must be sent to the labyrinth. Minotaur devoured them. Theseus made a promise with his father that he would protect the Athenians. So he went to the labyrinth and killed Minotaur. Centaur, a tribe of half man and half horse, live in Magnesia, a coastal region in Thessaly. The centaur was depicted in art to have a head, chest, and arms of a man, while the rest of his body was that of a horse. Chiron, the wise and caring old centaur, who was instructed by Apollo and Diana, and was renowned for his skill in hunting, medicine, music, and the art of prophecy. The most distinguished heroes of Greek story were his pupils, such as Hercules, Achilles, and Aesculapius. It is believed that blood of centaur can make poison. Grey-eyed, three old women with one tooth and one eye among them. They are the Gorgon sisters. In the adventure of Perseus, Perseus stole their eye the moment that one of them took it out from its forehead. They told Perseus where Gorgon land was, so he gave the eye back to them. Satyr, woodland spirits, often depicted in art with head and upper body of man, horns and pointed ears and goat legs. They were also depicted with large erect paws. The most famous satyr is Pan, a demigod whose lower body is a goat. He is the father of Orpheus, a trained musician. There is a quote from Benjamin Franklin: "Strength, that a man who has wit enough to write is satire, should have feelings enough to prodigy." Satire in this quote stands for danger. It is assumed that most terrestrial creatures, from either in full form or half form of creature, is based on wild beasts. Most of them have paws and claws, but they are larger, fiercer, and stronger. For half human, half animal terrestrial creatures, they are the hardest creatures. Each of them has unique power. All these creatures mentioned above involved in many adventure stories. Some do harm against heroes, while some are helpers. Next type of creatures: aquatic creatures in Greek myth. Most of them come from the god of the sea, Poseidon.
Hydra, the nine-headed dragon. One of them is immortal, therefore invulnerable to weapons. The other heads were even more dangerous. If one head was cut off, two heads would grow in its place. Killing Hydra is the second labor of Hercules. He tried to kill it by cutting off its head, but two heads grew instead. Finally, his nephew, Iolaus, brought him a burning brand to chop its heads, and Hercules buried its immortal head under great rock. There is a quote from Kurt Bernard about Hydra. Whatever they have tried is not working. It's really a matter of how they have tried to do things. J.C. Penney Management is essentially a multi-headed Hydra. It's the kind of situation where decisions have been made very, very slowly, and after a decision has finally been made, the need for the decision is gone. The author whose is known as Ovid. The dragon's Trojan. A pair of monstrous sea serpents were sent by Poseidon to kill Laocoon and his sons. When Laocoon was preparing to sacrifice a bull to Poseidon, suddenly two fearful serpents were rushed toward Laocoon. The serpents first envied the two boys, and then the father, who went to help his children, and all three were killed. The hippocampus, the first water horse, was a fabled sea animal from Greek mythology. There is a quote about the hippocampus of Eric Nestler. The molecular scar induced by chronic stress in the hippocampus, perhaps elsewhere in the brain, can't be easily reversed. To really cure depression, we probably need to find new treatments that can remove the silencer molecules. The sirens, bird women who lure the sailors to their island with their songs. There were said to be either 2 or 3 sirens.
The song of the sirens would cause the sailor to forget whom they were and where they were going, often causing them to wreck their ships on reef. The sirens involved with many stories. In the quest of Golden Fleece, they lured Argonauts with their song, but Orpheus saved his fellow Argonaut with his music. In the adventure of Odysseus, the sirens sang their Paris song, but Odysseus told his crews to block their song with beeswax. However, he wanted to listen to their song, so he told his crews to tie him to the mast. The Lamia. The Lamia was a shy, devouring demon. Lamia was cursed with the inability to close her eyes, so that she would always obsess over the image of her dead children. Some accounts say Hera forced Lamia to devour her own children. Myths variously describe Lamia's monstrous appearance as a result of either Hera's wrath, the pain of grief, the madness that drove her to murder. The Scylla. The six-headed monster resided at the Strait of Messina. Scylla's lair was on the opposite side of the strait, where a giant whirlpool, the Charybdis, a monster in a whirlpool, appeared in the adventure of Argonauts, Odysseus and Aeneas. However, heroes avoid from confronting them. It is concluded that most full-body creatures in the sea are ferocious and have a body of serpent, but the hippocampus, the horse of Poseidon, which is so majestic and very kind. For that, half animal aquatic creatures are of women. Most of them are beautiful except Lamia and Scylla, are cursed to have a monstrous appearance.
Next is the creatures that live in the sky, the celestial creatures. They can be categorized by the order of popularity. That means how well people hear about them.
Pegasus the winged horse is one of the best known mythological creatures in Greek mythology. It is a winged divine horse, usually depicted as white in color. It was served by Poseidon in his role as horse god, which sprang from the blood of slain Medusa. Is a partner of Bellerophon. It made him one against Chimera. Since then, the image of horse with wings are persisted in story and culture. Whether these horses are named Pegasus or not named, such story may turn Pegasus into a wolf species. Stymphalian birds were man-eating birds with beaks of bronze and sharp metallic feathers. They could lunge at their victim and were sacred to Ares, the god of war. Furthermore, the dung was highly toxic. They had migrated to Lake Stymphalia in Arcadia. Hercules eliminated them when they disturbed the villagers with the help of Athena, who drove them out from their nests. The Caucasian eagle, the giant eagle that came and fed on Prometheus' liver. Prometheus lived centuries of torment from the Caucasian eagle. Hercules saved Prometheus from the Caucasus and drove out the eagle.
Harpies, winged monster with the body of birds and the head, torso of women. They are house of Zeus, which brought Phineas, the prophet that the Argonauts met during the search of Golden Fleece. Phineas was bought her for his ability to tell prophecy that annoyed Zeus, so he sent Harpies to steal his meal. The Boreas, son of Boreas, the north wind god, who also could fly, succeeded in driving off the Harpies, but without killing any of them. Following a request from Iris, who promised that Phineas would not be bothered by the Harpy again. The Sphinx, a creature with a head and chest of woman, body and legs of lion, and wings of an eagle. The Sphinx lives in the country around Thebes, waiting for wayfarers and put a riddle on them. If they could answer it, she would let them go. The riddle is, what creature goes on 4 feet in the morning, on 2 at noonday, on 3 in the evening? And the answer is man. If no one could answer it, and she will devour them. However, Oedipus could solve the riddle, so the Sphinx killed herself. It is concluded that most creatures in full form are in the sky. Celestial creatures have wings and can fly. For the full-bodied creatures, they look like fierce poultry. For hybrid creatures, most of them are like human birds and have femininity and savagery. In conclusion, all creatures are often wild animals according to their living places. They took part in many adventures and myths. They are overwhelmingly powerful. Some are invulnerable but can be defeated. This point makes the story more intense and observable, especially when the adventurer fights with these creatures that look unbeatable. It feels overwhelming, but they also pass that moment. And if we consider about the creatures, we can see that most of hybrid creatures have the body of women. Perhaps, when it comes to women, they can deceive the adventurers easily.